Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
A person that has a doggone good chance of winning this thing because he is from Blacksburg.
Yes, and he's
South
close.
Carolina.
He's close to Lake Hartwell.
He's close there. Andy Montgomery with one of the Strike King Pro team members. Andy, how are you this morning?
Good, guys. How are y'all?
We're doing great. We're ready to go fishing. Ron can't wait to get over there to Lake Hartwell, right, Ron?
Well, I'm ready to get back there myself. Spent a lot of time there in December and November, and yeah, I'm ready to get back on the water.
Well, how was practice for you?
It was good. You know, it was even though I live only an hour and a half or so from the lake, you know, I don't know it really well up until this point, and so I spent a lot of time down there getting familiar with it. It was kind of like getting a new girlfriend. You just couldn't get enough of it.
Hey, you better watch that now, buddy. You better watch that now. That's the way to put it. But we're talking to Andy Montgomery, who's a 2015 Bassmaster Classic contender. And before I let Ron get into the fishing part, I got to tell you, Andy, I'm you know, when I look at these things and I see how much education means, graduate of Clemson University, in engineering. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I know you want that education, didn't you?
Right. Yeah. And you know, it's actually has helped me out in you know, in the industry with sponsors and stuff. So it was definitely good that I got my education. And my apartment was on the shores of Lake Hartwell. So every morning when I went to class, I could see Lake Hartwell. But the sad thing is, I spent all my time fishing on Lake Kiowee.
Oh, you were just looking at Lake Hartwell.
Yeah. Looking back on it, I would have spent a lot of time on Hartwell, but got to catching the spotted bass up at Lake Kiowee and kind of fell in love with that and spent 3 or 4 days a week on Kiowee instead of Hartwell.
Well, you know, that kind of sets you up. You know, you talk about fishing for spotted bass. Lots of them in Hartwell.
Yeah.
How big of a role is that going to play?
It's going to be a huge role. That's the biggest difference between now and when they was there in, was it 07 or 08? You know, spots were in the lake back then, but not the quality of spots that's in there now.
When you talk about the quality of spots, Andy, are you talking 2 3-pounders?
Yeah.
2 to 3 pounders? Oh, really?
Yeah. It's very, very possible that somebody could win the Classic on all spots. And I definitely think that you'll see a lot of mixed bag spots in largemouth. So there's some big spots, you know, up to 5 pounds.
Wow.
You know, catching 18, 19 pounds of all spots is very, very reasonable.
Wow. So this Hartwell sets up pretty well for you, or pretty nice for you, doesn't it, for your style of fishing?
Yeah, it does. The lake actually fishes. It's because it's a blueback herring lake. You know, the fish get really deep. You know, we can catch them out to 40 and 50 foot. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of deep water fishing, a little bit of shallow water fishing, but it's a blueback herring lake, which is really different than, you know, a lot of the lakes around the country. There's only a handful of lakes over here that's got the blueback herring in them,
right.
And the fish definitely act different, but they get big. That's the reason the spots are so big. It's
Absolutely.
They eat the blueback.
You know, if you catch a spotted bass or any kind of bass in 40, 50 feet of water, do you have to fizz them when you get them up into the boat, and if you're going to keep them?
You do, and you actually have to kind of be conscious of bringing him up too fast, too, so you don't blow it out his throat.
Right.
But the new thing is putting the clips on their fins, and it holds them upright in the live well, and then they kind of fizz themselves.
Right.
You know, for me, that's the best way I found to do it. So, you know, I'll probably be using the clips, and you just clip them on their bottom fins. It holds the fish upright in the live well, and it kind of fizzes itself. As long as you don't blow his bladder out his throat on the way up.
Right. We're talking to Andy Montgomery, Bassmaster Classic 2015 competitor. And, Andy, I know when you look at this thing, and if I'm not mistaken, you said you fished your first tournament when you were 14.
Yeah.
And now you're in the Classic. And I've got to go back to a quote you said here. I've typically done the best of my career by not going out with preconceived notions, and that's exactly how I'm approaching 2015.
Yeah. Well, I did spend a lot of time on Hartwell, more or less to get familiar with the deep water.
Yeah.
You know, the deep places and how it lays out and stuff. So, yeah, I know I said that, but I got some preconceived notions about home.
I'm just saying, I'm catching you on you, buddy. That's what I'm saying, because hey, you're living the dream here at the age of 14 to be in that first tournament. And I know you credit your dad with a lot of this, right?
Right. He was, him and my grandpa introduced me to just the fishing. I call them worm draggers. They went out and drug a lizard around and stuff. And then I got into tournament fishing, and my dad was my team partner, and he kind of went from a worm dragger to a all around fisherman.
What would it mean for Andy Montgomery to win the Classic?
Oh, it'd be awesome. It's something I dreamed about since I was little. Really, really little, and it's the pinnacle of bass fishing. So, I don't know the words can describe it. You really don't know what you'll feel like once it happens, but I know it'll be pretty cool.
Andy, last October, had an opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you there at Kentucky Lake at the Strike King Media Conference, and one of the things that I noticed was that striking is a lot like family. What does that mean to you?
It's pretty cool. There's not many companies that when you look at their pro staff, they're there for life. Guys, very, very rarely, I know there may be one or two in the history that I know about. Guys leave Strike King on their own, or Strike King lets them go. So,
right.
They go through an extensive process before they even hire their pro staff. So they definitely do the research. They knew more about me than I knew about myself before they hired me, and I know they do that with all their guys. So it's a testament to them doing the background on the guys they hire, and once we're part of them, you feel like family, and you never want to leave your family. Yeah,
and absolutely, and there at Kentucky Lake, they take good care of all of us, whether you're a pro or a media member. Good food, good times, and it is like a family.
It is, and the guys that.
We lost Andy. Andy's. We'll get back. Andy.
We'll get back.
We'll get back Andy on the line here.
But I have to tell you, he's a fine young gentleman.
Yes.
Had the opportunity to spend some time with him, and I think he's going to do well in this tournament. I think if you're going to pick a dark horse,
you picking Andy?
Yeah,
is a dark horse. Now he's not trying to influence people out there if they're in the contest. Ron is not.
No, but if you do just a little bit of research, but there again. People talk about, and Bill, as well as I do, a lot of times the favorites that you have are people that are around the home lake right there.
Right.
But not often does
that work out.
Does that ever work out that your home lake is where you're going to win it?
Yeah. Oh, well,
Andy, we're talking about.
Do you have any pressure? Do you feel pressure, Andy, on being?
A little bit, This is a really good opportunity for me. I know right after practice, I know the lake extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
And man, we talked about preconceived notions, but I got some. I got a good idea on how I think the Classic can be won, and I think I got a really good game plan if things come together. So. There's definitely some pressure. It's a big opportunity being this close to home to win the biggest tournament in the world.
And you're going to have a lot of fans there, Andy. I know that's one thing. I mean, you got family, but also those Clemson fans are pretty rabid about anything.
Yeah. And the whole state of South Carolina. I'm very proud of where I came from, and it'll be cool to fish in your home state.
Andy, if somebody wants to follow you, and certainly, I liked you on Facebook, but how do they do that?
Just Facebook is the best way. I think it's Andy Montgomery Fishing. Twitter's Andy Montgomery Fishing, and starting an Instagram account. So it'll all be linked through Facebook, and that's probably the best way to start.
It is. Andy Montgomery, thank you for being with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we'll
wish you all
wish you nothing but success. Okay, buddy?
All right, guys.
I look forward to seeing you in Lake Hartwell.
Yeah, Ron Wall will he'll be checking you out. Thank you, Andy. Have a great day. All right?
Thanks, guys.
it all. Outdoors with Larry.